Humiliated and shouted at on a daily basis, a leading school academy trust faces allegations of what's been described as a toxic culture towards pupils.
When I was in a class, I did have a teacher make me kneel for a significant portion of the class as a punishment, and so that left 2 skin abrasions on my knees.
Well, the academy denies the allegations and says it offers a safe learning environment. Also on the programme, travel fares are set to rise next year, but fares on London's most popular form of transport is frozen. Calling for your memories, the team behind the Cutty Sark are looking for anyone old enough to remember when it docked in Greenwich.
Good. The fight is on!
And the local Panto, which is more local than most and shows off a broad, talented and a very happy team.
Tube and rail fares in London will rise by an average of 4.6% in 2025, while bus and tram fares will again be frozen, the Mayor's announced. The increases will come into effect from March, with daily caps increasing by between 40p and 70p, depending on what zones are travelled through. It means that next year, a single pay-as-you-go fare in Zone 1 will increase by 10p from its current price of £2.80. There are more details on the BBC News app. Westminster Council has announced it'll meet next week to review the Groucho Club's licence. The famous Soho venue was shut last month after it emerged a woman was raped inside the club on Dean Street. A man who was arrested remains on bail. Westminster Council says it'll hold the licence review in private next Wednesday. London Ambulance Service says it's exceptionally now. It comes as hospitals say they're being struck by a tidal wave of flu and other viruses. NHS England says there's been a 70% increase in hospital flu cases in the past 7 days. The advice from the ambulance service is to only call 999 in real emergencies. If in doubt, visit NHS 111 as a first step. Now, Panto season is very much underway across London, and at the Broadway Theatre in Catford there is a reversioned fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty about inclusion and diversity. The cast and crew is 65% locally employed, and the Panto is a pipeline to help working class and global majority people into the industry.
This year we have such a beautifully diverse cast that everyone that comes to see can have someone that they can see and identify with on the stage. I think that's such a special and beautiful thing to be a part of.
Buckingham Palace says it will take appropriate action following reports that a member of its household staff was arrested after a Christmas party at a bar in Victoria. The Metropolitan Police said a 24-year-old woman was detained on suspicion of common assault, criminal damage and being drunk and disorderly. A business group says at least one new town inside the Greater London area is needed to meet the huge housing need in the capital. Business London's report says a new town could be developed because public transport and other amenities are already in place. The government's promise to build new towns, locations to be announced next year. And planning permission's been granted for a new building in London which will be as tall as the Shard. One undershaft will sit across the river from the Shard. It will have a free-to-access public garden. Heathrow and London City airports have expressed concern over safety, but those concerns were addressed in the final planning permission. Approval